I'm working on a public and I do not know when it is coming out. When the thing come out and people saw it, will I be ashamed?
Children are the world's most valuable resource and its best hope for the future. John F. Kennedy.
In 2017, after the birth of my child, I became very concerned about sexual safety, not just for my child, but all the children around me. The quest to protect my child and the children close to me gave birth to Protect the Child Foundation.
For Nigeria's education system need to introduce body safety conversations in schools curriculum to enable children get early knowledge on ways to protect themselves against possible abuses. A leader of Protect the Child Foundation, a non-governmental organization, Elizabeth Achimugu, made the call during a sensitization program for school children on child sexual abuse in Abuja.
They made a right and great impact on us. By sharing sanitary pads, they educated us on the effects of lack of taking good care of your body. They educated the boys also on the changes that they'll see in their body.
All these big girls them at the top, they don't come out when they yarn. See, this matter will concern child abuse, plus including child molestation on top of child. It's very, very bad. The founder, Protect the Child Foundation with Barrister Elizabeth Achimugu, they yarn this one on Thursday, during when they've been start the 2-day trainers and stakeholders workshop onto creating sexual safety policies for schools ready for inside Abuja.
My message is for all states to domesticate the act. The fight against child sexual abuse is something that when it comes up, people begin to bring religion, politics and policies to it. People don't want to take full responsibilities and act. So most states shying away from these things are covering up under the guise of religion, ethnicity, or whatsoever. And that is what has always kept children being abused, the culture of silence, where people don't want to talk about it or do nothing about it. So I would encourage states to implement. States that have refused to implement this act are empowering pedophiles. They are empowering sexual predators. They are empowering people to continue the abuse. So those states need to do something about it.
Speaking on behalf of we boys, we think Protect the Child Foundation should continue in this school.
Thank you for the organization Protect the Child Foundation.
Protect the Child Foundation. When people came in last year or thereabout, we are looking at the NGO as maybe one of those NGOs that will come and they will just do and just walk away. But we discovered that people have made impact in most of these students.
Protect the Child Foundation. Thank you for the impact on us. God bless you.
Protect the Child Foundation, breaking the culture of silence. Protect the Child Foundation is a non-governmental organization based in Abuja, Nigeria, with a vision to create a safe childhood free from sexual abuse for the African child. Protect the Child Foundation, also known as PTCF, was created to protect and defend the innocence of children. PTCF started in 2017 on Facebook but has now grown into a registered NGO and a strong online and offline community with over 25,000 members, hundreds of volunteers, and millions. Our mission is to work towards the eradication of child abuse through the provision of relevant information, emergency, legal, medical, and other services that empowers. Our goal is to protect and defend the innocence of the African child. To break the culture of silence, end ignorance and victim shaming of survivors of child sexual abuse by encouraging speaking out, sharing relevant information on age-appropriate sex education and body safety, conversation around puberty, distribution of sanitary pads, notebooks and basic school materials, advocacies, and more.
I am Elizabeth Achimugu, a lawyer, child's rights advocate, and founder, Protect the Child Foundation, simply PTCF.
According to UNICEF statistics, 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 10 boys will face sexual violence in Nigeria before the age of 18. And sadly, less than 5 out of 100 will get any help. PTCF had a first sensitization against child sexual abuse in schools at LEA Primary School, Dutse Sagwari, Bwari Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, in 2018. That after, we have had series of sensitization programs at Local Education Authority, LEA Primary School, Dutse Sakale 2, De Mejus Academy at Dutse Powerline, Local Education Authority, Narai Karusite, Junior Secondary School, Dutse Alaji, Local Education Authority, LEA Nyanya 1, Local Education Authority, LEA Angwangede, and Perez Anointing Touch, all within the FCT and more. PTCF has directly impacted about 20,000 students in their schools. The essence of the PTCF sensitization is to talk to students about the existence of child sexual abuse and equip them with basic body safety information using PTCF customized body safety charts and books. Puberty and its changes, how to prevent, respond to, and report child sexual abuse.
It has impacted my life positively. For me, knowing my puberty stage and my adolescent level, sometimes at home there might be a way I might, or when having wet dreams, it might affect me. I might think that I have started bedwetting, but it have helped me know that I am in my puberty level.
After our sensitization in schools, we have had students report cases of child sexual abuse, and we have provided the required help they need to them.
Until when people came, we were able to discover it, and then the parents of the girl in question, they were able to know that such a thing was going on.
PTCF, being an organization that strongly supports education for all, especially children from low-income families, have distributed thousands of notebooks and basic school essentials and scholarships. Girls often miss out on school during their menstrual flow in order to encourage school attendance for girls during their flow. PTCF works with schools, students, families, security agencies, and more to ensure the prevention, response, reportage, and persecution of child sexual abuse. We believe that children are the future, and that future must be protected. This is the motivation for our advocacies in schools and reaching out to children. PTCF sensitization against child sexual abuse in schools is meant to equip children with the right knowledge on their body.
My body, nobody has the right to touch me. My body is mine.
Children are often too scared of speaking about sexual abuse, as they are either being threatened by the abuser, being deceived into silence by the abuser, or not even believed at all, especially by their parents or those they trust. And sadly, 90% of abusers are known to the child, as the child sexual abuse often occurs in schools, at home, and places that should be the safest for every child. With the right tools, knowledge, and training, children can easily confide in relevant stakeholders and adults, and they will get the help they need. PTCF has organized series of both online and offline training for parents, teachers, advocates, caregivers, and relevant stakeholders. Crimes including child sexual abuse continue unabated because perpetrators are hardly given deserved punishment. PTCF, through our external solicitors at Dayland Castle Attorneys and a team of volunteer lawyers and law firms, collaborate with relevant government and non-government organizations to seek justice for survivors of child sexual abuse. We therefore believe that adequate sanctions for perpetrators will help reduce the menace of child sexual abuse drastically. Girls in suburb and rural areas miss out on school during their monthly menstrual cycle due to poverty and inability to afford sanitary pads. End period poverty includes free distribution of sanitary pads to students and schools in order to protect the dignity of the girl child and to ensure no girl misses out from school due to menstruation. PTCF is passionately committed to working with both government and non-governmental organizations in seeking timely help for survivors of child sexual abuse. PTCF is currently working with hospitals to offer immediate medical services to survivors of child sexual abuse. PTCF realized that the one-day sensitization she used to conduct in schools was no longer enough to encourage speaking out, reportage, and mindset change.
It's done so many things for me because it makes me stand for my rights whenever I'm in trouble.
Me, when I see wet dreams like red dreams and the rest, I feel like I've done something wrong that makes me to feel like that. So I'll go to my mom, I'll tell my mom, sorry, I lay on the bed and all this kind of stuff. But one day, as I was in school, the Protect the Child Foundation came and they told us that if you see something like that, you don't be afraid, or just stand up and go to wash your boxers.
The need to create a transgenerational change in Nigeria and Africa at large gave birth to PTCF clubs. With the support of Facebook Community Accelerator, PTCF has started her clubs, currently running in 5 public primary and junior secondary schools in FCT. They are LEA Nyanya 2.
Well, I feel happy because I know that it will go a long way in impacting in the lives of these children, being that they are exposed to so many things as they go out of the school.
Junior Secondary School, Lower Usman Dam.
They made a right and great impact on us. By sharing sanitary pads, they educated us on the effects of lack of taking good care of your body. They educated the boys also on the changes that they'll see in their body.
Junior Secondary School, Begi.
I learned that we should always protect ourselves from sexual abuse and not to let anyone destroy our future.
Junior Secondary School, Kurudu.
Protect the Child Foundation teaches us how to be bold, how to speak out, how to know yourself, how to know who you are, how to be confident in yourself and to be brave.
Protect the Child Foundation is a foundation that educates children on how to protect themselves from sexual molestation.
And Junior Secondary School Nyanya 1, all in FCT. This is to equip children on their rights, body safety, age-appropriate sex education, self-esteem building, leadership, and more. PTCF and social media. Social media is the new norm. And for us to reach and equip more people, the impact of social media cannot be overemphasized. PTCF, in fact, started on Facebook before its offline establishment. We currently have about 25,000 members and followers across all our social media handles, with millions of reach and numerous impactful stories of change. The fight against child sexual abuse is not a one-man show. It involves all hands being on deck. PTCF has been able to establish meaningful partnerships with relevant organizations and agencies, such as the police, which is the #1 law enforcement agency in Nigeria, the Universal Basic Education Board, UBEB, which is in charge of all the government-owned primary and secondary schools, the hospital, so as to provide immediate medical services for the survivors of child sexual abuse, FCT Gender-Based Violence Response Team, Social Development Secretariat, National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, and more. PTCF and UNSDG Goal 1. No poverty. Goal 3. Good health and well-being. 4. Quality education. 5. Gender equality. 6. Clean water and sanitation. 10. Reduced inequalities. 11. Sustainable cities and communities. 16. Peace, justice, and strong institution. 17. Partnership for the goals. PTCF is blessed with a team of professionals, volunteers, and staff from all walks of life. We have doctors, counselors, journalists, lawyers, trained educators, and more, who invest their time and energy to ensure that PTCF vision is achieved. In crossing these milestones, we have gone through some hurdles such as access to good roads and mobility, access to shelter for survivors, basic school materials, and etc. Currently, the task to expand and reach more people has become enormous. PTCF desires to expand her network to actively involve people living with disabilities, as they are twice more vulnerable to abuse. To continue with the clubs, so the maximum impact achieved will not just die, PTCF wants to reach more people in more states, so that more children who are survivors of child sexual abuse will get the required help they need. What is the essence of encouraging attendance of girls to school if they do not have access to toilets or good toilet facilities? Sadly, lots of victims and survivors of child sexual abuse really do not have a safe space or where to go. PTCF intends to establish a shelter for survivors of child sexual abuse by 2024 and a toll-free line by 2023, so that more survivors can freely call and get the help they need. PTCF also intends to expand her educational activities to provide more scholarship for indigent students and less privileged, as well as make basic educational materials easily available to all children, regardless of the economic status of their parents. At PTCF, we believe children are the future, and our activities are geared towards protecting the future by protecting and defending the innocence of children against all forms of abuse. We call on you today to support us in reaching these objectives. All donations can be made to Naira account. Protect the Child Foundation. Bank, United Bank for Africa, UBA. Account number 1024149979. Dollar account, Protect the Child Foundation. Bank, United Bank for Africa, UBA. Account number 3003446389. For partnership and volunteering, please visit our office at Suite D1 Irama Plaza, Sadu Zungur Avenue, Setrako, Gwarimpa. For more inquiries, report and visit our website www.protectthechildfoundation.org. Call 091 66 62 8000. Twitter and Instagram, PTChildF. That is PTChildF. LinkedIn, protect_the_child_foundation. Facebook page and group, Protect the Child Foundation. Email, protectthechildfoundation@gmail.com. Together, we say no to child sexual abuse today. Break the culture of silence and speak out.